Every day we make decisions, and those decisions are going to have an impact on whether we succeed in life or whether we struggle. My name is Michael Santos. I'm the founder of Prison Professors, and every day we strive to produce content that will inspire or teach justice-impacted people so they can move to the next stage in their life. And later, during today's journal entry, I'm going to be reading this letter that we received from Umberto Diaz. He is serving time in one of America's prisons. We incarcerate far too many people, and these people are serving sentences that are far too long. But as a person who went through 26 years inside, I have a duty and a responsibility to show people the pathway to personal leadership. And to become a leader of your own life, it's crucial that you think always about how are the decisions that I am making today going to influence my life in the future. And those who know our work at Prison Professors know I would never ask anybody to do anything that I didn't personally do while going through 26 years in prison, and that I am not still doing today. That is the nature of our course. That's what differentiates us from a lot of people who masquerade as trying to provide guidance when they're not really. They're more like a travel agent telling you go this way or go that way when they really haven't done it. I'm more of a tour guide. I've been inside of those prisons, whether it's a high security prison, medium security, low security, minimum security camp, halfway house, home confinement. I took the entire tour over 26 years, but I also learned how to overcome and how to emerge successfully. And that's what I want for people in the Prison Professors community. So if you're watching this inside of a jail or a prison, and if you are my young friend now, Umberto Diaz, who I'll be reading your letter shortly, I just want you to know today is the day to begin sowing seeds for the success that you are determined to build, and every decision has consequences. So make good decisions. Let's turn to today's journal so you'll have a little more clarity on what I'm trying to convey here, and then we will turn to Mr. Diaz's letter. So here is the journal. It's on our website at Prison Professors Talent. Today is July the 29th, 2023, and here we go. Every day, we make choices that will influence our prospects for success. It doesn't matter where we are in life. We will face choices, and those choices will come with opportunity costs. We can make choices that will advance us closer to success as we define it, or we can make choices that lessen our likelihood of succeeding. Justice-impacted people should consider this reality about opportunity costs daily. The right decision at the wrong time may be a bad decision. I didn't understand the importance of opportunity costs at the start of my sentence. When authorities took me into custody and presented me with an indictment, I was 23 years old. I wanted to get out of prison, and my attorney told me what I wanted to hear rather than what I needed to hear. Instead of accepting responsibility and moving forward, I put the government to the test and proceeded through trial. I perjured myself on the witness stand. A jury convicted me of every count, and a judge sentenced me to 45 years. Fortunately, it's never too early and never too late to make better decisions. We must simply consider the opportunity costs of every decision we make. Opportunity costs. After 26 years, I concluded my obligation to the Bureau of Prisons. At 49, I had to make a choice. How would I want to live the rest of my life? Answering that question requires introspection. We've got to think. We've got to consider what we want to achieve and then assess whether we are making decisions that will accelerate our pathway to success. In my case, after 26 years in prison, success would mean working to live as the change I wanted to see. Other people suggest that I should take time and decompress, perhaps start a family. They define success differently from me. Being a father requires a lifelong commitment. In my view, I forfeited the privilege of fatherhood when I committed crimes that led to my conviction and sentence. I could not provide a child with the love, care, and attention needed while simultaneously working to build a career. Without financial stability or work history, I could project into the future. And without financial resources, I would face a parade of horribles if I chose to father a child. Instead of working to build financial stability, I would be attending athletic events and celebrating birthdays. Those were not the decisions I wanted to make in my 50s. Every day, I consider the decisions that I am making. These journals help me stay on course. They also become teaching tools, showing others that if we think differently, we open opportunities to reach success as we define it. We want members of our community to live deliberately. Regardless of what stage of the journey you may be in, think about how the decisions you are making today will influence your prospects for success in the future. In our course, Preparing for Success After Prison, I recommend using the pattern of CEO thinking. Consider how every decision you make will influence your life in the next 10 minutes, in the next 10 months, and in the next 10 years. Those are the wise words of Susie Welch, author of 10-10-10, a book that inspired me while I was in prison. Our community at Prison Professors serves people at every stage in the journey. Some people contemplate how they will respond to a criminal charge, while others are trying to climb through lengthy sentences. In today's journal entry, I hope they'll better understand what I mean when I write about opportunity costs. I'll clarify what I meant when I wrote, "The right decision at the wrong time is the wrong decision." I could not change the fact that I did not make good decisions as a young man. The choices I made led me to prison. Had I chosen to have children after serving 26 years, I would not have been able to devote my life and career to bringing change to the criminal justice system. My personal ministry is to work toward improving outcomes for all justice-impacted people. To succeed in that effort, I must consider every decision's opportunity costs. By memorializing the journey, I am more committed to staying the course. So the question for you is, in what ways are you memorializing your journey? These are questions that we all have to ask, and we have to ask them daily. We have to be thinking about, okay, what is the plan that's going to take me from where I am to where I want to go? What priorities do I have to put in place? What tools, tactics, and resources are going to help me get there? The sooner I start thinking about that, the sooner I can create accountability metrics that will help me measure my progress and stay on course. We have to be the masters. We have to know how to define excellence and then pursue it every single day. If we don't, we become one of those losers like the guy I characterized in yesterday's journal. I want you to be thinking about success. Reach your highest potential and understand the challenges that are going to come your way, because there are going to be many challenges. Every day you will face challenges, and you've got to know, how am I going to make it through? And now I'm going to turn to this letter I received from prison. This is from Humberto Diaz. And I don't know Humberto Diaz. I've never met him. But let me read his letter with hopes of learning a little something and seeing how would I advise somebody, because these episodes that I create, they go into prisons, and I want to inspire him. He took the time to write to us. Let's read his letter. Dear Michael Santos, my name is Humberto, and I have been incarcerated for 17 and a half years. I am currently incarcerated at CSP Solano, Level 2, where I have recently completed your course, Preparing for Success After Prison. I was inspired to write this letter to personally commend you on your indefatigable, one of the words I garnered from your course, your perseverance to overcome the many obstacles and challenges that stood in the way of your success. You were able to transcend your circumstances by transforming your greatest weakness into your greatest strength. Furthermore, you never made excuses. Too often, the incarcerated population is stigmatized as an unredeemable subpopulation, a nation buttressed and reinforced by a 67% recidivism rate. Your story, on the other hand, changes the narrative from one of fear to one of hope, potential, and redemption, something we need more of. The only regret I have about taking your course is that I didn't get to take it earlier. I wish I could have taken your course as soon as I came to prison, at the ripe age of 19, with the daunting prospects of a life sentence. I started my prison journey at the notorious Pelican Bay State Prison. At the lowest point in my life, on lockdown, a norm at Pelican Bay, in deep reflection, I know I wanted something different, something more for my life. I didn't know where to start, if it was too late, or if it was even possible. All I had ever known was gangs. Let's turn to the next page here. Gangs and drugs, a culture of criminality, from family, friends, and community, and look where that got me. So similar to you, for the first time in my life, I began to read. In your book, Earning Freedom, on page 485, during a conversation between you and Justin Paperny, you were able to definitively define the direction of your life in a few sentences, to which he responded, "I wish I had that kind of clarity in my life." I share in his envious admiration, for lack of a better term, and is exactly why I wish I could have taken this course in my incipient years like Mr. Paperny. I wish I had that type of clarity in my life early on. Today, I have grown into a different person, a better version of myself with ethical values and a growth mindset. However, that disoriented road was a long and arduous one, rife with misdirection and failures, and one that I continue to travel to reach my full potential. My point is, every inmate should have the opportunity to take your course when first entering prison so that they have the inclination to change, but don't know how. The course can at least expose them to a sense of direction. Ever more so, your course has the added benefit of being a testament of someone who has been there and done that, lending a sense of authenticity and credibility. Among the many principles that your course heralds, one of the salient points is working toward building a positive support network. You made it a point to reach out to people you felt could be positive mentors and contribute to your future success. Fortunately, many of them believed in your potential and answered the call, supporting and mentoring you throughout the journey. I'd like to ask if you could be my mentor in my journey. Moving forward, there is no better person I can think of to mentor me than an upstanding individual like yourself that has overcome the worst mistake of your past. If I learned anything about you from your books, it is that you are very consumed in your projects, so it is understandable that you're busy and strapped for time. But if there's any way possible that you could find the time to mentor me, I'd be honored. There was another request I had, not just from me, but from some of the other participants in your course here. They actually charged me with the onus of asking you to consider visiting our institution as a guest speaker, maybe hold a workshop. None of us has the power, as you well know, to authorize such an event. However, there is precedence of guest speakers at this institution in the past, and since your course is being administered at this facility, we were hoping you had an inside track on how to make it happen. Another possibility would be to hold a graduation for your course after a certain amount of students graduate. Hopefully, there can be a possibility in the near future. In closing, what choices can you make today to influence the success you want to achieve tomorrow? Today, I wrote Michael Santos, a mastermind that lives by philosophical principles that helped him overcome challenges and find success in life where most fail. Thank you for your insight and guidance. Contact me at Humberto Diaz, CDC F-97270, CSP Solano 14-22-4 Upper, P.O. Box 4000 in Vacaville, California, 95696. I got to say, that was really just the letter I needed to pick me up, because I deal with trolls out here all the time. And trolls are people that say they want to change something. Well, I should say they don't really want to change anything, but they don't want other people to work to change either. So they're like that theory of crabs in the bucket. One crab may be trying to get out, but all the others are working to pull him back down, right? It's a pathetic troll. We see a lot of that. But I love this dude, Humberto, because Humberto had the courage to go through the challenge of getting this letter to me. And the challenge he had to go through was, first, he had to persuade his administrator at the institution, hey, could you find how to contact Michael Santos? That administrator had to contact a director of the state's prison system. The director wrote and said, is it okay if I give you my address? I said, of course, give my address. That's my ministry. It's to help people, justice-impacted people, realize you can become more. You can overcome the challenges you're going through right now. If I had come into prison when I was 23 and said, because I wrote that Nelson Mandela inspired me and said, let me reach out and see if Nelson Mandela can get me out of prison. Well, that strategy probably would not have worked. But instead, I said, how can I learn from Nelson Mandela and apply his wisdom to my adjustment and my journey so I can make it through this daunting crisis? Being justice impacted is a crisis. You can make it through. If one person can do it, you can do it. But it takes discipline, it takes perseverance, it takes an indefatigable commitment. And that's what I am hoping that you have. Visit us at prisonprofessors.com to learn more about these courses if you're not in prison. But if you're in prison, be like Umberto. Take the time to write a letter. I can't read every letter that I get, but this one came in an unusual way. It popped across my screen, so I thought I'd share it with you with hopes that Umberto would get to read it. Umberto, one thing you can count on is we will be sending you some books today, and I made this video, so I hope you get to see this video soon too. My name is Michael Santos. I'm the founder of Prison Professors, and I believe in you.